All right, if you missed it during the parade, you missed one of the coolest moments in recent NHL front office history. Mid rally, right in the middle of City Plaza, with 150,000 Caniacs screaming, General Manager Eric Tulsky walks up to the podium, calls Nicholas Deloria to the stage. Now, hold on. Deslauriers isn't a household name. He's a 35-year-old enforcer who came over from Philly in a deadline trade for a seventh round pick. He played 7 regular season games for us. He had 1 assist. He skated in exactly 1 playoff game for 3 minutes. 3 minutes of ice time against Ottawa. So by the numbers, this is a fourth line depth roster guy. This is the kind of player most teams are going to forget about. The kind of player who hits unrestricted free agency and just disappears, and even the fans and everybody forget, right? Instead, Eric Tulsky pulls him up onto the parade stage in front of the entire city of Raleigh, handed him a contract, and Deslauriers signed it right there in front of the crowd, and he yelled into the microphone, 2 more years. Place explodes. That moment, that's the whole front office philosophy in one image. And if you understand why Carolina did this, you understand why this franchise is built different. Let's actually break down the deal. 2 years, 1.75 million total. Average annual value of 875,000. So for context, the NHL minimum salary next season is right around the league floor. Tulsky locked Deslauriers in for basically just above the league minimum. In a normal NHL offseason, any other team, here's how that would have gone. Deslauriers hits free agency on in July. Maybe 7 or 8 teams call. He fields offers from contenders looking for a tough fourth line winger. He probably gets a 1 year deal somewhere from 900,000 to 1.2 million, depends on the market. Tulsky preempted all of that. He locked the guy up before he even got to test the market and at a price slightly above the league minimum for 2 years instead of one. The Hurricanes just bought some certainty for a tiny price. But here's the part that matters more than the dollars. This is about leverage. Deslauriers was acquired from Philly on March 6th. He played 7 regular season games. He played 1 playoff game. He had every reason on earth to walk into free agency, take the highest offer, chase a bigger role somewhere else. That's what everybody else does. But he didn't because he loves Carolina. This franchise made him feel like family. The quote from Tulsky's official statement: Nick has fit in with our locker room and culture from day one when he got to Raleigh. He provides a veteran presence and adds a physical element to our roster. That's not just GM speak. That's the explanation of why a 35-year-old enforcer with 3 playoff minutes wanted to come back. The Hurricanes have built something the players genuinely want to be a part of. It's Brind'Amour's culture. We had a 2 goalie system, a depth first roster construction, systematic offensive identity, and the fact that the team just won the cup. Combine all of that, and you get a 35-year-old vet who wants to take a hometown discount to stay in the city he's been in for 3 months. That doesn't happen on most teams. That happens because Tulsky knows what he's doing. So let's zoom out for a sec because this is the third smart move for Tulsky this offseason. Move one, he built the roster the right way before the playoffs even started. We had a 2 goalie system, and then we got depth signings with Deslauriers. We got Logan Stankoven from Dallas in the Rantanen whole fiasco deal. As the postseason rolled around, the roster was built to handle all the things that came at it. When Frenny went down, we had Bussy and Kochetkov if we needed them. That's not luck, that's roster construction. All right, move two. Right now, he's talking to Connor Hellebuck, biggest goalie name on the market. We've talked about that one on this channel, whether it's the right move or not. The willingness to swing big tells you he's not satisfied with winning just one. And then move three right now, the Deslauriers signing. Preemptive, low cost, high culture fit move, locks in depth before the market opens. Big moves on the top end, small moves on the bottom end, calculated, built around an existing roster identity. That's how we're going to build a team that contends every year, and hopefully how you build a dynasty. Now, the most underrated part: Tulsky could have signed Deslauriers a week before the parade, sent out a press release, posted on social media, just standard offseason fourth line winger guy transaction. Instead, he held the announcement, brought it to the parade, made it a moment, let him sign in front of 150,000 fans, let the players on stage hype him up, let the crowd lose their minds. That's not coincidence. That was brand building. Every fourth line free agent in the NHL watches that scene on Saturday. Every veteran enforcer with a year or two left in his contract, every guy looking for a contending team that will treat him like a real human instead of a roster slot. They saw Deslauriers on that stage. They saw the crowd, they heard him yell 2 more years in the microphone, and every single one of them quietly added Carolina to their list of preferred destinations. That's how a small market team competes with the big boys for talent. You don't outbid Toronto, you don't outspend the Rangers. You build a culture where players want to be, and then let your moments do the recruiting for you. Tulsky just put on a free agent commercial in front of the entire NHL, and it didn't cost him an extra dollar. So as we head to the actual free agent window, remember, the Carolina Hurricanes are not just trying to defend a Stanley Cup. They're running an entire front office philosophy that other teams are about to start copying. And the Deslauriers signing on parade day was the clearest sign yet of how they operate. Lock in the role players early. Let your culture do the recruiting. Make your contract announcements feel like celebrations and keep flexibility on the cap for the big moves. Hurricanes are doing it right, I think. If Tulsky keeps moving like this, the next decade in Carolina is going to be a problem for the rest of the NHL. So, what do you think? Is he one of the smartest GMs in hockey right now? Or am I just a Caniac giving him too much credit? Drop it in the comments. And if you want to follow along as we break down the team, subscribe to the channel. Catch you in the next video.